Okay, he's been hailed as one of the 10 chefs of the millennium by Food Wine magazine. He's a multi-award-winning chef, and he's a pioneer of Asian fusion. Chef Susur Lee is here to serve up today's Daily Dish. Welcome, Chef Susur Lee, to our Samsung kitchen. It is so good to have you here in our space. Maple and lemon glazed butternut squash with sautéed shrimp. Sounds delicious. How do we start?
Well, this dish is really came to my mind because in season.
Yes.
Squash.
Yes.
I think this is a favorite time for any chef or home cook to cook because everything is just blooming. Squash, of course. So what I'm making today, I have chorizo and also shrimp. I'm going to saute with chili, garlic, and then I will be serving a little salad with chorizo.
Yeah.
Very simple. Every step you can actually make it at home, and you can buy all this in the supermarket at one time.
I love that. So nothing, you're not going to have to go out of your way to get any of these ingredients. And as you mentioned, it's harvesting time. So this is when you get everything fresh right across the country. Can you tell me again what that is called?
This is chorizo.
It looks like an endive or is it bitter like that?
A little bit bitter.
Okay.
But, to make it sweet, you have to use lemon juice, a little bit salt.
That's a good
tip.
So
that is sort of like that little balance.
Okay.
I have squash. I'm sure you're going to ask me how come it looks so perfect.
Yeah, is that just because you're a professional, or can we all do that at home? Perfectionist?
This is what I use. But if you're at home, you can actually, cut it into a little circle, because on the top part of the squash, you can cut it into any kind of shape. You can cut it into like a little wedge.
Nice.
I'm going to poach it with water.
Okay.
And also a piece of butter,
Very
a bit
important.
of salt, and also lemon juice. Because I like this squash, because squash has a little bit of sweetness by nature.
Yeah.
And the sourness is also brings in, it balances sweet and sour. So I call this a sweet and sour squash.
That's smart.
So I do actually use a little piece of lemon skin. Yes, and I put it in, and then I bring it to a boil.
Okay.
And put a lid on.
Yeah.
So I have this already made something to show you. So with this, you can see, the difference between something really kind of not cooked and something is cooked, because you can see the transparency, kind of very rich. And it's almost like a sweet potato being cooked. It changed the color and also the texture.
It looks good.
And also the glaze, So after this been boiled, let it simmer very slow, high, and then very low.
Okay.
I think that's the important part, because you don't want to break it apart.
That's right.
So now, with all that, I'm reducing and turning into a glaze. And then I put the chorizo in, a little bit of fennel seed on the top.
Nice.
Little chili powder right in the oil, so you can get a little bit of fragrance.
Yeah.
I love black pepper.
Me too.
So I don't put a lot of salt, because chorizo has salt already. So now, the glaze is really nice and soft.
Yeah.
Right now I put a little bit of butter, to finish the sort of like making the sauce a little bit softer.
Lovely.
So this dish is actually rich and light at the same time.
Which is a nice combination.
Yeah. So I cut this chorizo.
Yeah.
And then I just keep it whole.
Oh, nice.
It's almost like a little floret, you can tell.
That's lovely.
Right?
Yeah.
You keep it there, and you just seasoning with a little bit of salt. Now, one thing great about this vegetable, you can actually marinate it and keep it in the fridge.
Oh, you can at last.
At last, you can just put it together.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
That's what's good about vegetables that have a little bit more integrity, like they have a little bit more toughness to them. They're going to hang around a lot longer and not turn to slime in the crisper. So we like that.
I like the way how you explain food. You have a lot of good experience.
You see, I don't cook it, but I've been around it for so long. I can say some stuff. I'm proud of me too.
So now I'm plating with.
Oh, that looks so good. And the glaze too.
Softness.
Can you imagine? Do you make this stuff for your family, like on a regular Tuesday?
Oh, I do. Especially when I was spending time in LA
with your boys,
with my son, I was like the private chef.
I love it.
At the same time, the house cleaner and the dog walker. So that was my job.
Chef Susur Lee, and he's home doing laundry, and he's walking the dog, and he's sweating because he's got to get home to make the boys dinner. How old are the boys? Tell them how old they are.
My oldest son is, 31.
Yeah.
My middle one is almost 30 now.
So sweet.
And the youngest one is still a baby. I want to keep him the way it is,
Always.
like a baby.
We're going to actually have someone come in and try a bit of your meal. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I love criticism. Good or bad, I love criticism.
So Tracy P is sort of like our resident food trier tester. I mean, what a tough job, T.
No,
So you are going to have a little bit of this gorgeous dish. All right, T, what do you think?
God, this is fantastic.
Right?
I want him to move in with me.
How do we get that to happen?
Ask my wife first.
Okay.
So text his wife and then see if he can do that. Oh my gosh, that looks so good.
This is really good.
Chef Susur Lee, you have to come back and hang out with us again, because now that we know that you're cooking for your adult-aged boys, we don't feel so bad having you here cooking for us.
Right.
Right? I
More than
love it.
welcome. Yeah,
Thank
try
you so
this.
much. Find this recipe on our website, cityline.tv.